In this video, I'll be showcasing the working prototype for my game, Farshore. This will mainly be focused on the core gameplay mechanics, such as dialogue with NPCs and interacting with items. This prototype features a single level with 3 separate areas for the player to move around in. Farshore's style falls in the 2D HD or 2.5D category. I will mainly be referring to it as 2.5D given that the game company Square Enix, which developed titles such as Octopath Traveler, has actually copywritten the term 2D HD. So, very cool. The gameplay elements shown are relatively basic in nature, but provide a system to be built off of and to be complicated in the future development cycles. Spawning initially in a small room, you're able to walk around and trigger events such as the quest New Day with the objective to leave the apartment. You can see aspects such as the player having collision, preventing them from simply walking through the walls or falling through the floor, and other uses of collision, such as a collision box found on the doorway, which enables the player to teleport from one section of the map to the other. Upon entering the hallway, you trigger another box which updates your mission to talk to the neighbour you see in front of you. He introduces himself as Oscar and recognises you as being the new postman. He presents you a problem, i.e. he needs you to fetch a parcel that's been left out front of the building, as he is too busy moving in to get it himself. Walking forward triggers another quest to retrieve this parcel for the NPC. Walking forwards, we reach an outside area where there is a blank NPC template, showcasing another simple dialogue system. We're then able to walk up to the parcel, which has collision, and press E to pick it up. It notifies you that you have picked up the parcel and updates your quest once again to go and deliver the parcel back to Oscar. This is as far as the prototype goes in terms of showing off gameplay aspects, as talking to Oscar once again simply replays his dialogue. This is mainly due to the fact that when I was trying to implement a quest system for the game, it would immediately break the dialogue system. Implementing a thought-out and updatable quest dialogue system is something that will be integral in delivering the final product of the game. Despite this, the majority of the work in this prototype went into the actual blueprints and coding of the game. This is something I found very difficult, as I am not a coder. I am an illustrator or 2D artist, and most of what I was exploring here was all entirely new to me. This is also partially why many of the more polished aspects in the gameplay include the character's main sprite, as this is something that I did first. The game sprint, or hack and slash plan, that was created early on in development was useful, though I think in the future further dividing up specific aspects and components would be important. For example, separating UI into UI and widgets, or dialogue and pop-ups or pickups. Assets should be further explained as 2D assets, 3D assets, NPCs or items, or static meshes. Additionally, SFX could also be expanded from simply SFX to music and notifications or pings. There's not really much to talk about in terms of how the team performed as a whole, as the team was me. So in relation to communication and group cohesion and equal contribution, I'd say that things like communication, cohesion and equal contribution were all pretty stellar, because it's all me. That being said, I'm aware that I can be my own worst enemy at times and actively get in the way and hinder my own progress, which is something I do need to work on. All in all, creating this game prototype has informed me that even making a very simple game can be quite complex, with many systems that I hadn't even considered needing to be created from scratch. Again, in reference to the game sprint hack and slash plan, creating the assets went very smoothly, primarily the 2D sprites. These were initially created in Pixsquare before being exported as Asprite files. These were then imported once again into Asprite and exported again as sprite sheets. In the future, streamlining this workflow to creating all the 2D assets in Aseprite initially would significantly cut down on the time taken to implement 2D components. A main thing I need to improve in is creating systems such as quests, menus, and data tables, as these are all vitally important to the entire game. In addition to these implementations, I believe that working on the music will also be important in establishing the overall theme and aesthetic of the game. As I've found with creating a game, things that I think will be quite simple to create are actually going to be much harder than I had initially expected them to be. Therefore, I need to manage my time in a more efficient way, dedicating set days to set tasks or specific tasks. Thank you for watching my video.